nwoke si na ya ji ọfọ nwa Chukwu okike abịa ama Chukwu na-afụ na ife afụ na nzuzo Chukwu okike abịa ama Chukwu na-afụ na ife afụ na nzuzo Chukwu maara onye aka ya dị ọcha na onye obi ya dị ọcha nwoke si na ya ji ọfọ nwaanyị si na ya ji ọfọ mana ọfọ maara onye ji ya ụkpaka na-agba n'udo mmiri ọ chụrụ ọzụọ gaa n'ogwe o mechi ụzọ osi mpi ara na-azụ nwa igiriga ọgụ nke mmụọ ọ gịnị ka m ga-etu gị ka o zuolo gị asị m n'oge akara aka eluo ịbụ mmụọ ka mmụọ ibe ka ibe Chukwu okike onye ọbịa ọma sị m unu binye n'oge akara aka eluo mmụọ niile m na-ejere ozi asị m unu binye n'oge akara aka eluo oke mmụọ oke mmụọ oke mmụọ oke mmụọ oke mmụọ oke mmụọ mmụọ niile m na-ejere ozi asị m unu binye elu tetenụ n'ụra tetenụ n'ụra tetenụ n'ụra tetenụ n'ụra asị m n'ọnwa unu nwoke bụ nwa eze Chukwu bụ ụzọ mba aka ji ọfọ Igbo ọzọ eme nte eme ime ọsị m nọ ya nọ n'etiti unu taa ọsọ unu binye enu n'oge akara aka eluo mmụọ nna nna anyị ochie asị m gị binye mmụọ na-afụ na ife afụ na nzuzo asị m gị binye oke ọfọ ji eje ọgụ asị m unu binye ọfọ ndị Igbo niile asị m gị binye ọfọ ndị mmiri asị m gị binye ọfọ ndị ikuku asị m gị binye eze nwaanyị osimiri asị m gị binye eze nwaanyị nwaanyị na-ebe asị m gị binye eze nwaanyị idodi ikwu na-eme asị m gị binye eze nwaanyị amambara asị m gị binye eze nwaanyị osimiri ndị aba asị m gị binye eze nwaanyị ala Igbo niile asị m gị binye eze nwaanyị ọgba asị m gị binye eze nwaanyị anike wawa asị m gị binye oke arụsị na n'ike ojuru nwaanyị aga asị m gị binye n'oge akara aka eluo igirika ọgụ mmụọ asị m na gboo dike mbọsị ihe ike mere ọ ga-achọkwa nwa dike asị m dododo unu binye unu bịa tara ọjị na Chijireji efụla asị m unu binye unu bịa tara ọjị na Chijireji efụla nna nna anyị ochie mmụọ niile nwụrụ anwụ ka anyị dị ndụ mmụọ niile nwụrụ anwụ ka ụmụ Igbo dị ndụ mmụọ niile nwụrụ anwụ ka Maazị Nnamdi Kanu dị ndụ mmụọ niile nwụrụ anwụ ka ụmụ Biafra dị ndụ asị m unu binye n'oge akara aka eluo asị m na gboo dike mbọsị ihe ike mere ọ ga-achọ nwa dike ọ sị na mberede nyiri dike na mberede ka o ji ama nwa dike ọya ka m ji akpọ unu n'isi ọhamadike bụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ya nwa bụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu otu mkpụrụ anya ji ite ụgwọ otu ọnụ na-ekwuchitere mba niile ụkpaka na-agba n'udo mmiri na-agba n'oge nke ya asị m unu binye n'isi ya nye ogologo ndụ na-arụ isi ike napụta ya na-eke napụta ya n'orie napụta ya na afọ napụta ya na nkwọ asị m na ahịa akara aka anaghị eri nwa ngwụrọ na ahịa akara aka agaghị eri Maazị Nnamdi Kanu asị m unu ga napụta Nnamdi Kanu na-eke napụta ya n'orie napụta ya na afọ napụta ya na nkwọ asị m mee ka ọnụ niile kwụrụ njọ n'isi atụgharịa kwụ mma ka ọnụ kọrọ ogiri ọnụ kọrọ ogiri lacha Chukwu okike abịa ama onye jiri mmiri siri ike gbaa aja were aja siri ike kpọọ mmadụ asị m na taata bụ ụbọchị eke n'ala Igbo asị m na eke ga-eketara Nnamdi Kanu ndụ eke ga-eketara ya nwere onwe oke ga-eketara ya ndụ oke ga-eketara ya Biafra oke ya ajọ mmadụ na ajọ mmụọ asị m na mbọsọ ga-apụta ekwensị ga-anọ n'ụra ndị ilu ya ga-anọ n'ụra ọ kwara ekwe osu asị m gịnị bụ ekwensu asị m na mbọsọ ọ ga-apụta ya bụ ndị ilo ga-anọ n'ụra ọha bụ ndị ọha nwa bụ ekwensu asị m na ha ncha ga-anọ n'ụra na Nnamdi Kanu ga-apụta n'ike na ebube Nnamdi Kanu ga-apụta n'ike na ebube asị m na ọnụ kwụrụ njọ n'isi ya ga-atụgharịkwọ mma asị m ọ bịara igbu Nnamdi Kanu bụ onwe ya onye si na Nnamdi Kanu agaghị adị ndụ onye a ga-eji anazere mmiri onye si na Nnamdi Kanu agaghị apụta onye a ga-eji anazere mmiri ọnụ niile kọrọ ogiri ọnụ ga-akọrọ ogiri lacha osisi abụrụ oturu ga-emeche wee kwele onye asị na Nnamdi Kanu agaghị apụta asị m na ọnụ ahụ iji wee kwuo ya ike ejikwa ya wee kwugharịa mma n'isi ya asị m na ebe onye ahụ na-atụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu aka asị m aka gị ga-akpọnwụ osisi ahụ fụrụ Nnamdi Kanu wee tọọ nkwe asị m ikuku futuo gị anya ọbụla fụrụ Nnamdi Kanu kwawa akwa alịrị asị m alịrị akọrọ ya n'anya onye fụrụ Nnamdi Kanu cheta ihe gburu nwa ya ihe gburu nwa ya gbuo ya maka na ọ bụrụ ya gburu nwa gị Chukwu okike abịa ama asị m na mberede nyiri dike mberede ka o ji amawa dike asị m na okirikiri ka a na-agba ukwu ose ọ dịghị ukwu ose enu na okirikiri ka ndị iro ga-agba Nnamdi Kanu mana ha ama mkpata ya aka ọ sị na nkirikiri ka ọ na-ekiri odido jiri odido enyi ozu na ọkwanụ nkirikiri ka ndị iro ga na-ekiri ya mana ha amafụ ya anya asị m na eje anaba isi ije asị na Nnamdi Kanu ga-eje na ọ ga-ana asị m na inye anaghị eri ọba maka na inye na ọba bụ nwanne inye agaghị eri Nnamdi Kanu maka na ọ bụ nwa inye asị na Nnamdi Kanu ga-adị ka echi anaghị agwụ agwụ maka na ije ejere bụ ije mmiri ọ bụla eje nkụ asị na ya bụ ije ga-abụ ije mmiri asị m na ọ ga-anata n'udo asị m na ọ ga-abata sirili welere asị m na unu ga-aga kpọnatara anyị Nnamdi Kanu asị m unu ga-akpọnatara anyị Nnamdi Kanu ga-akpọnatara anyị Nnamdi Kanu ga tụnye ugo ga nye ya mmeri ga nye ya mmeri ga nye ya mmeri tụnye ugo n'elu ugo nye ike n'elu ike nye ya ndụ n'elu ndụ ọkwanụ ndụ ka o ji efu na efufe unu nye Nnamdi Kanu ndụ onwe ike wee kwụrụ jinjin onwe ike wee kwụrụ wee fuo na ofufe a sị na ya kara ka anaghị eri nwa ngwụrọ ihe mere ha ji jide Nnamdi Kanu bụ ka nwee ike wee megide ndị Igbo ka nwee ike megide ụmụ Biafra ka nwee ike wee kwuchi anyị ọnụ ka ha nwere ike wee kachi anyị ọnụ ka anyị ghara ikwu okwu ọzọ mana ama m na dododo Chukwu okike abịa ma ndị nwa na ndị nwe mmiri ndị nwe ikuku ndị nwe anyanwụ mmụọ nna nna anyị ochie mmụọ niile nwụrụ anwụ ka anyị dị ndụ mmụọ niile ọ kwafọrọ ọbara ha n'ike maka ihi Biafra asị m unu binyenu asị m unu dododo na ọkwa na unu bụ ihe nwe ike a ọkwa na unu ga-eji ọgụ mmụọ a ọkwa na unu ga-aga buori ya ọkwa na unu ga-aga napụta ya maka na ihe ọ tinyere unu n'aka anaghị ele ule asị m dododo igiriga ọgụ mmụọ eze nwaanyị niile nọ n'ala Igbo mmụọ niile nọ n'ala Igbo asị m unu binye maka na onwe onye nọ n'ụwa na-anaghị aṅụ mmiri onwe onye nọ n'ụwa na-anaghị eri nnu bụ ihe ụtọ si na mmiri wee pụta onye ọbụla na-eri ihe na-eri ihe dị na mmiri onye na-asa arụ ji mmiri asa arụ onye ọbụla na-eme ihe ọbụla ọ na-eme ji mmiri eme ya asị m ihe ọbụla mmadụ na-eme n'ụwa mmiri ọ na-ebube ụzọ asị m onye ọbụla kpọrọ mmiri asị na mmiri a ga-agbagbu ya asị m onye ọbụla fụrụ mmiri n'anya ga-afụ Nnamdi Kanu n'anya onye ọbụla fụrụ mmiri n'anya ga-afụ Nnamdi Kanu n'anya onye ọbụla mmiri na-awụsa n'arụ ga-afụ Nnamdi Kanu n'anya onye ọbụla mmiri na-emesa n'arụ ga-afụ Nnamdi Kanu n'anya onye na-aṅụ mmiri na-eli nnu asị m na ọnụ anyị ji wee lie nnu wee ṅụọ mmiri na ị ga-eji ya kwụ okwu ọma n'isi Nnamdi Kanu n'aha Chukwu okike abịa ama
ise. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Alu province of Biafra land. We are here live and direct. Today is the 24th day of May 2023. Tata bobo chieke. Therefore, today we are here live and direct. You are listening and hearing our voice live. Today being the 24th day of May 2023. Through our FM stations or CHK 102.1 in most part of Biafra land. You can be hearing our voice. We are on satellite also, free to air satellites. Also on social media we are there. Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE, IPOB Rapture Media, the Biafra Digest, name them. Just go to Google and type in how do I listen to Radio Biafra London. It will give you multiple choices. On Facebook, different places, you'll be hearing our voice. You can download IPOB Community Radio. It's a very low data consuming application. Also, you can download TuneIn Radio or Simple Radio or Direct Radio Biafra London. All these are some of the many avenues through which you can listen and hear the gospel of emancipation, because this is what we preach here. Therefore, without taking much time, I'm here with, as usual, our veteran. Mazi, please come on and introduce yourself, because atope.
Yes, I'm listening to you.
There war. Go on,
Mazi, good
please.
evening.
There war.
Mbedoma, fellow Biafrans, here we are again. My name is Mazi from Biafra land. There is no need of calling him Anambra. These are artificial creation to divide us. We are Biafrans, and part of us are Ndibo. This evening, here we are again to interact and be able to discuss on certain issues that bother us as a people, because our race is under siege. They want to eliminate us completely, but many of us doesn't know. Over 80% of, if not 85% of our people doesn't know that they are under threat to be eliminated from the face of the earth. They are ignorant of it, and rather they go embracing the oppressors. So this evening, I wish those who may be humble enough, not minding my English, because I'm not an Englishman. I've never gone to school before. Like I used to say before, going to school does not make you an intelligent person. Speaking good English does not make you an intelligent person. But being whom you are and knowing whom you are makes you an intelligent person. Because the certain word says, man, know thyself. Who are you? Who am I? I have discovered who I am. I'm an Igbo man, hated by Britain. Hated by Britain. The person that brought religion, an Anglican church to you, they so much hate you with passion. So this evening, I wish, fellow Biafran, you will be humble enough to listen. Learn something this evening, because you will hear something you have never heard before. And these things will be very, very beneficial to you to be able to link on it and be able to start the process of liberating yourself. Liberating yourself. First and foremost, you have to liberate yourself from so many ignorances that have been surrounding us, that have surrounded us. There are so many things we don't know. So many things, uncountable things. And that is why we are being tossed about. A whole great Igbo. Nzobu, Enyimba, Enyi, Nzobu, Igbo kwe Enyimba. A whole great Igbo that the European fear. Today we are being trampled upon. Very unfortunate, very sad. Please, fellow Biafrans and fellow Igbos, listen attentively. Like I said before, don't mind my English. Mind what I'm going to tell you, what we are going to discuss this evening. It's very important. There are so many things Chukwokike made me to understand, and I want to share it with so many of you so that you know how we started and where we are going and what is happening to us and what is about to happen to us. Thank you, fellow Biafran. I wish you happy listening. Thank you, Mazi.
There were Mazi. We are here live and direct, as I said. This is an extraordinary radio. It is not a radio like others. It's a revolutionary radio. This is a place where we liberate the imprisoned mind. You understand? Because according to our brother, one of our brothers, Mazi, he said, every development starts from the mind. Do you used to take your time to think deep, reason deeply on this type of saying? Every development starts from the mind. But unfortunately, our minds are imprisoned. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started by trying to liberate the minds of people, our own minds, so that you can reason and think beyond the cage where they place you. Do you think you are getting what I'm saying? Imagine being in jail. Reality becomes fantasy. You understand? Life outside, which is normal life, becomes a fantasy to you. You reason just in that cage you are in. You don't think about going on cow or going on the highest cow, or you continue reasoning as that place you are being put caged into. That is an example of an imprisoned mindset. We have been imprisoned for a long time, not to think beyond the cage. That is why you see our people very, very absurd. Anything that happens, the reality our people are seeing is tales, folklore, fantasy, belief. That is where our people have been caged. So that you interpret everything that you are seeing by the day according to that cage you are in. That is why our people, they quote Bible more than even King James, the writer. I say most of our people. Everything that happens to us, every daily life, everything, they are seeing it from the prism, from the mindset, from the sight of that place they are being put. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came and said, look, our people have been imprisoned enough. Come out of that cage, mind cage. That colonize the mind and reason vastly, subjecting everything to the altar of reason. Do you know what it means? Do you know what it means? Not one-sided. Not one-sided. Our people are perishing because of ignorance, stupidity, gullibility, lack of knowledge. That is why in our land, I don't think today I've asked many people, nothing like autopsy. Nothing like autopsy. Because anybody that dies, there must be somebody that believe that I've killed him. There is one video somebody sent to me, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday. Maybe he's listening. I don't know the place where, I think it's food poison that killed a family. Man, husband, woman lying on top of the husband with their two babies. And the food they were eating was there on the table. They couldn't even finish it. So, it's clear that they died of food poison. Now they started advertising. There is one sardine, this canned sardine. Oh, is this sardine? The person, and I know it's all these bloggers or the person that is videoing it. Oh, is this sardine? That is please, is what they say that killed him. What they say. And I asked that brother. I wrote him. I say, Mazi, these people that died, how do you know that is the poison come from the sardine? Is there any scientific proof? Did they go to autopsy and everything was being tested and found out that the poison came from the sardine? I don't know whether the brother even answered me because I was pissed off. Because of the cage we are in. Once anything that happened, somebody will just bring hearsay, no proof, nothing. Hey, that is a spark off the whole rumor. Rumor becomes a reality because we are in an enslaved mindset. Somebody will just bring up just hearsay. Oh, but how do you know? Is there any side? Did they take the food? You might be blaming the sardine. You don't know that the problem is from the rice itself, the raw rice that was cooked and joined everything. It can be from the onions. It can be from any of the ingredients, the poison. It could be a mistake, something deadly, or the preservative for one particular food, or one thing or the other. But it has been concluded that it is this, it is that. No autopsy. Once somebody died, oh, I start, Mazi, I look at our people as we are still centuries backwards, like 12th century we are. I'm telling you, the way our people reason, it gives me concern, honestly. In this 21st century, somebody will die, no autopsy. Rumors will start. No autopsy, no scientific proof in order to determine what happened to that person, in order to prevent it so that it doesn't kill another person. But the primitive mindset that our people have, we make them believe the same belief the Europeans were having in the 7th century, the 8th century, until the era of awakening. They woke up from sleep. Our people, we are still in that sleeping. We are still believing hearsay. That is why religion is, waxing stronger and stronger, a multi-billion-dollar business in our land. Because it sells hearsay. It sells stupidity. Religion sells foolishness. You understand me? We have to liberate ourselves from this mindset, because we are completely enslaved. Our minds are tightly enslaved. The way our from this enslavement, so that we start reasoning like free people. Free people. Every development starts from the mind. That is a statement. Therefore, do not forget that on the 30th May, our Heroes Remembrance Day, equivalent to the Jewish Holocaust Day, we remember those that died fighting Britain. Our ancestors, the Kumek warriors. Those upright Ndis and also that spoke truth, that died for truth, for the truth, that said instead of them to compromise with the British in order to sell our people and enter a foreign religion, start talking from both sides of the mouth, instead let them die. And many of them were beheaded. Many of them were slaughtered in a most horrific manner. They resisted. The Kumek warriors that fought for 31 good years, resisting Britain, in order to maintain our way of life. These we are going to remember. Those that fought that we might live in the Biafra Revolutionary War, that we might live. We are going to make sure to remember them. Therefore, if you are in this struggle, you are against our ancestors, you don't recognize them, those that are, those that are, through them, you are born, you come into this life. Because without them, we will never be born. Without our ancestors, we cannot be alive today. It is through them. We carry their blood. If you are a type that religion has made you to demonize and continue demonizing our ancestors, know that on the 30th May, you shouldn't be among. Don't deceive yourself. I say, don't deceive yourself that you be among the people, you are remembering our fallen heroes. No. You are deceiving yourselves. We must tell ourselves the truth. We have to remember those people that fought fearlessly that we may live. Corporal Wanfo, that made the difference. You understand? On the 30th June 1968, when the federal troops were advancing to Onitsha from Enugu, shelling and firing from tanks at Ogunwasike, Ogidi, about 20 kilometers to Onitsha. Our overwhelmed, heroes, Biafra heroes, we are almost giving up. When Nwafo hit the target, he fired the only anti-tank weapon available to the entire brigade. And do you know what? The 73mm bazooka hit an advancing Saladin. And all hell broke loose. When one of the second Saladin, tried to engage in reverse gear, it fell into a ditch. The Biafran heroes, they tried to retrieve that tank in a bloody fight that ensued. And in that process, our hero, Corporal Nwafo, lost his life. But the Biafran troops, they gained that weapon. And that Saladin armor tank was named Corporal Nwafo. It became Biafra's first armored tank. And you know what again? In July 1969, at Ohubua, on the way to recapture Port Harcourt, 1969, in a battle between Biafra forces against the Mohammedans, the 3rd Marine Commandos, commanded by Olusegun Obasanjo, the one that you are darling today. Let me tell you, 3 16-year-old Biafra school boys used the same Corporal Nwafo tank to bomb Olusegun Obasanjo back to University Teaching Hospital Ibadan, where he was treated for multiple injuries. The names of these teenagers: 16-year-old. One was Sasanwoke from Ohafia, Warriors. The other one is Sylvester Eta from Obubara. And another one is a Saturn, is a half caste, is a Metis, whose mother was from England, named Daniel Rollins. He's from Ecom. They were all 16 years of age and ran away from school to defend Biafra. These are people that we need to remember. Do you hear me? Radio Biafra is making us to understand, to know who we are. Before we were gallivanting like aimless prodigal sons and daughters all over the face of this world without knowing and understanding who we are, until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came in order to liberate us, to open our eyes to who we are. And today we are following. That is why 30th of May, every 30th of May remains sacrosanct. Biafra land will be under lock and keys. Lock and keys. To reverence our heroes and heroines. That day, the spirit of our heroes and heroines will have their day. It will be their day. We liberate them. They will be going everywhere, walking on the road. If they see you, defy them. Anything that you see is you that na you sabi. 30th May, on Tuesday, next Tuesday, our Remembrance Day, our Holocaust Day, to remember those that died that we might live, to remember our ancestors that fought the British with spear, bows and arrows, but gave them tough time for 31 good years. They could make warriors. Those that died in order to maintain our tradition, our way of life against the invading Europeans. We must remember them. Remember, our leader is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is still in the enemy dungeon, but make no mistake about it, we are never worried, because we know what we are engaging is a freedom fighting. It is not a freedom joking. It's never child's play. It is freedom fighting. It is a matter of life and death, jail, everything. Therefore, our leader is in the forefront and he must be released. The Nigerian government has nothing. He has no case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said it multiple times that he will defeat them in their own courts. Is it not what is happening? IPOB has defeated them. in their own court. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has legally, legitimately, officially set free. But he is now being illegally retained in the DSS dungeon, the Nigeria Secret Police dungeon. Therefore, our leader must be released. It doesn't matter how. He must be released because they have no case against him. Without taking any much time, I want to go into some news headline. The first of these is, there is this news headline, Mazi, 24th May 2023, Igbo people should stop playing bad politics. APC built second Niger bridge, Obasanjo promised and failed to do. You know who said this? Ngige, Minister of Works and Employment or what? Ngige, that's short engine. Ngige. That is the type of, Mazi, there is something, when these people are making these statements, are they doing it, are they making it for making sake, or do they want people to really analyze? Do they think that they are dealing with all of us are dummies as every Nigerian? Okay. Because okay, Mazi, just 1 second. Let me land now. You will go on.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, if building second Niger bridge, is it building it for Igbo people only? Everybody is plying that bridge. That is number one. The Fulani headsmen, they are even passing that bridge, selling their heads, their cows. Everybody is for the whole, let's say the whole Nigeria. Then why is it a favor to us as Igbo people? That is number one. Number two, if a building of bridge or road or is a criteria, is a criteria to being loved. Mazi, I know that maybe you were nearer, if not maybe you were nearer to being born either before independence or immediately after independence. I don't know. So you know much about the British colonization practically more than I do. Now, didn't they build infrastructures? If is a criteria that Britain, colonizers, they love you by building their infrastructures in their land. I could remember even till 80s or early 90s, I've forgotten. We have sick beds in various communities in Igbo land being built by the British. All those things, just sick, they call it sick beds or sick bays. Let me be correct. It's just a mini hospital in every community. Now they build all these things, build railway lines, build roads in our lands, in Nigeria. Build the seaports to carry oil, but it still is an infrastructure. Now, after building all these things, but Nigeria still want independence, though flag independence. So why are these people making this type of statement? Did Buhari build that bridge with his money? That is one thing. They put Nigerians in the most stupid and gullible. They box the mindset of Nigerians into the most stupid, gullible cage, so that they start reasoning in that way, the way they want them to reason. He built him, others promised and they didn't build, but he built, so he loves us. He loves you and is unleashing the Fulani headsmen, and they are killing everybody. He loves you, and he said that 5% openly in the world press conference in America. Buhari said that he will never treat the people that gave him 5% of their votes as of those that gave him 97%. I repeat exactly his words: 97 and 5%. And he said that we are just like a dot. He will round or corner us and wipe us out. And he loves us because he built a bridge that is below standard of what it should be. No rail line. And is so down that no ship can condemned unless that bridge will be brought down and new one built. Otherwise, he has condemned any shipping line to pass, any ship, big ship to pass through. But he loves us. This is what we are seeing with all these politicians. Mazi, please come in, because we have many things to talk about. Come in, please.
Yes, Mazi and fellow Biafrans. You see, these politicians, because they have used the youth, they have used the unemployed youth, the youth they frustrated, and then climb into power. Whatever thing they like, they can tell us. Imagine Ndike. He was in PDP. He was the one that was given the Obi mandate. The same man invited, because many people doesn't know that it was Ngige that brought in 5,000 Mossab boys. Because Uwazirike was training private security, not just Mossab. He just gave them that name, Mossab. It was private security to be hired by him. So he always hire it to anybody, any politician that need them. So when his security was removed, when police security that was guiding that man from Allah was removed, I regard him as a good man because of the work he did in Anambra State, to be honest and candid. But he hired 5,000 security when Obasanjo removed his own security, because he doesn't want to comply with the agreement between him and Esere Noga. I want every Biafran to listen, so as to know exactly what our politicians are doing to us. Now, he used these men and dumped them to the mercy of Peter Obi, who now came and slaughtered these men. That is number one. Number two, that very bridge you see that is built there is as a result of the seaport that was mismanaged by Ekweme, because Shehu Shagari gave him contract to build exactly Tinkan Island port. Shehu Shagari knows our problem more than Igbo man knows his problem. He tell him, Ekweme, go to your place and go and look at Tinkan Island port. Go to your place, or Anicha. Go there and build exactly Tinkan Island port there. Tell me how much it will cost you, I'll give you the money. And Ekweme collected this money. Instead of building this Tinkan Island port exactly as it was given to him, he used this money to go and build motel all over the Federation. That is number one unforgivable sin, even if he's dead by now. But we will never forgive that man. That is number one. Number two, when he fell, and finally Obasanjo discovered the mindset of Shehu Shagari, how he was fraternizing with Ndibo. He called other army general, they overthrew him. He was put in jail. But before then, there is a day I traveled to Abuja with my car. I was coming back, instead of going towards Umunede axis, I took the other one that goes to Nsukka, from Kogi down to Nsukka, Opi Nsukka to Enugu. I came across this bridge, standard bridge, very, very high bridge. They have already prepared. A very big ship can go under it. If you doubt me, try that road any day, any time.
That is River Benue Bridge. It's River Benue.
Not River. I don't know that. It cross between Kogi to Nsukka.
It is that.
A very mighty bridge. They have already prepared this project that a big ship can always pass through that place. Just like you have the bridge of Onitsha, Niger Bridge. Now, when Okweme fumbled, he couldn't deliver exactly what he was asked to do. Because Okweme is supposed to have gone towards Atani area and took up a very large land there and build anything he wants to build there, then this particular bridge will not come to play. What they did now is to begin to try to build second Niger bridge in order to counter this particular port. That is the politics that they are playing. They now build it so down that that particular seaport is completely useless. That is the game they are playing there. So for him who coming to tell us, he's a stupid man. He's a stupid man. He play politics to the detriment of himself and his people. At the end of the day, he has committed himself because he has eaten some money and they have documented him. He will continue to talk like a fool until the day he will trample upon the foot of any of them. They will got him arrested and put him in jail. So this is Igbo politician for you. Let's continue, Mazi.
Mazi, because we are going to still continue on them, honestly. Now, there is this news also, news headline. Because, you know, things are happening. So it was on the May 22nd news. Well, news headline. May 22nd, that is day before yesterday. You know, since 3 days I have not been on air because of some unforeseen circumstances anyway. But we must continue. Yeah. Yes. You know, the headline says the anti-protest bill and the suppression of civil liberties. Let me read to you. Who is introducing this anti-protest bill? Please, let me read a bit. Don't preempt. Let me read, please. You know. I have already known it before. The Nigerian government is on its way to silencing its citizens. The recently announced anti-protest bill has passed a second reading and has generated much controversy. It has raised concern amongst human rights activists, civil society organizations, and citizens. On May 4th, 2023, the House of Representatives passed a second reading of a bill providing a 5-year prison sentence for illegal protesters in Nigeria. The bill introduced by House member Emeka Chinedu Martins. So onye Igbo Mazi, what I have seen in Nigeria is that Kwandi Igbo gasara Nigeria iwakwa eziokwu. Kwandi Igbo. Mazi Kwandi Igbo. From A to Z. There is something I see that is happening. All these useless anti-people's bills, they are being introduced by the Igbos. It's something look at. Let me play you what have been going on, but let me play it. Let me repeat it. Even it has been on our distance here. I mean, going on Radio Biafra cloud here. This kidney issue, you know, Mazi, since that time I say I never come on air, so we have to put mouth on it. I put this bill introduced by Chinedu Onyibo, Emeka Chinedu Martins, Onyibo, Igbo man. Now, compare also with this news that broke, this organ harvesting question. The bill that this thing, you know, we are now talking because we had it from just one person, a good person that revealed it. This thing happened Otego mene. The time Ike was a Senate president. But no, because
deputy Senate President.
Deputy Senate President.
He
yes.
has not been Senate President.
Yes, Deputy Senate President. He presided over it. It was introduced by Okowa as a senator. Onyibo. And Ngige was there. All of them were there. The man, let me play it, Mazi. Let us listen to it. I know we have been listening to it, but I want us to listen to it so that we remember, I have read the headline of an Igbo man introducing anti-protesting law bill. Who are they targeting? Igbo people. Maybe why he is doing it is one of the reasons is to make his opponent in his ward as a senator. Maybe I don't know the man which ward they come from. In his village, that opposition that wants to challenge him, he is doing it so that he cannot bring out his voice to protest. But he don't understand, he don't think profoundly about the effect it's going to have. They will use it to kill our people. Because all these things, it doesn't happen in the north. The northerners, if they want to protest too, after Friday prayers they come out, you can't do nothing. They will not even, no person will kill them. So everything they are doing is only our people, and they are using our people in order to achieve this. So Mazi, before we continue commenting, let us listen more and more on this.
And we know for sure that this was headed by an international organ trafficking cartel. They funded the National Assembly, of some people estimate to the tune of $6.2 billion US. They also bought all the Nigerian government, federal government hospitals at the cost of $3.2 billion US.
He said they have bought, Mazi, note this one, they bought this international organ trafficking ring. They have bought the Nigerian Federal Hospital. They have bought. They paid advance. He will say it. They have bought it. Which means, Mazi, do you now see the reason why every politician, once they have a headache, they fly abroad? Because they know that they know what they did. That they can go to the hospital and they will remove one of his organs and he will die. Because it's in the law. In the Nigerian, they put it inside the Nigerian constitution. That you see you are this thing, you consent, you with it, you know. So this is why even the GOs, the pastors, the bishops, and if they have a headache, they run abroad. They don't want any Nigerian hospital to treat them, because they know Arugala. We continue listening. We know who brought these bills.
They even offered to buy all the Catholic hospitals for $2 billion, but the bishops refused that. So this is a well-organized cartel who are actually moving into Nigeria in order to actually buy up, or they have already paid an advance on all our organs. Anybody,
they have paid advance on all our organs, which means every Nigerian is just like a chicken. They are rearing Nigerians as guinea fowls or chickens for your organs. Bill Gates is waiting for you. Anytime they want, they will have. That is why Nigeria becomes the highest producer of organ trafficking in the world. Do you remember when they found found a container full of 7,000 plus
pennies, 7,200 pennies,
yes,
of youth,
fresh pennies, 7,000 plus people, men. Dead. What? And immediately in China. That is, when they discover one, which means thousands have passed already. Immediately, yes. Mazi, do you know what baffled me? Immediately, the Nigerian Senate, the Nigerian government said, "Don't worry, don't talk about it. We will investigate." Until today, in order to quell everything from public domain. That is their business with America.
That issue was also discussed in the Senate. That issue was also brought out in the Senate.
But what happened?
It was brought out in the Senate, and they discussed about it, and they set up a panel of inquiry, and that is the end of it.
That is it. Yes. Because they know.
I was watching it.
Because they know, all of them, they know what they did. The Nigerians don't know that there are zombies moving around in Nigeria. That is why a policeman that's supposed to be a man of peace, protecting you, will tell you, "I will kill you and nothing will happen." Nigerians don't think about all these words. "I will kill you and nothing will happen." And before you know, they'll cock a gun in broad daylight, they will kill you. They corner you, they kill you. Before you know, they say you are an armed robber, put a gun on you. They take you and cut off before you die, they cut off your organs they need. sell the ones they will sell, or handle this, or anyone that is because Nigeria, when they talk about the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable by Katrina Liang, by America, maintained by, we don't support Nigeria division. For Nigeria, because of all this thing, Nigeria is a marketplace for all of them. Nigerians are being seen as the way you go to poultry, you look your chicken. The chicken that you are rearing in poultry, you don't rear them because you love them. The love you have for them, you want them to be doing good. They will be eating, they should be eating. Anyone that is not eating, you check whether they have disease so that it doesn't contaminate others. You give him medicine. You are not doing it because you love him or you love that chicken as a chicken, to live normal life. No, because you love it because of the flesh. You are just imagining, this one will be robust. If he's robust, it will make a good meat. That is the way Bill Gates, America, Britain, all these countries of the world are seeing Nigerians. And the Nigerians are zombies. I'm an intellectual. I'm this, and you don't know that you are in a hellfire waiting to be burnt at any time. You don't know that. You think that you're in a country. You are like that. They have sold everybody wholesale, mostly Igbo people. Now
Mazi, do you know why?
Okay, go on.
Do you know why they always use Igbo people? Because during the slave trade era, Igbo slave trade sellers, those that go to kidnap, rank number 1 in the whole Africa. They rank number 1. Igbo people will move from that enclave, go to Oyo area and kidnap people and sell. That is why these Europeans knows us, that some of us are cruel, therefore can be used. That is why we are where we are today. And that is why they are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu proved exceptional, very pure and clean. You cannot bribe him. You cannot ask him to do such a thing. It is not in his blood. Exceptional Igbo man. That is why they are holding him there. Because they have tried everything. Is this man not Igbo man? How many billion? How many trillion? Okay, take $1 trillion. Take $2 trillion. He said, look, it is better I die than forgetting about this fight. It's either I die. I will never allow Biafra not to be. Biafra must be, or else I am dead. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stand firm on his belief to restore Biafra and restore the dignity of Ndigbo. That some of us have taken the other way around to sell our collective interest, to sell our collective dignity because of money, because of money, because of money. All these men you see them, they are in politics, they are also in business, they are also in so many dirty things. Money, that is all they are thinking about. So our problem is our politicians, and these politicians, their forefathers are slave traders. Go and check. It is running in their blood. Mazi, continue.
Yes, we move. Let's continue listening.
In the Federal Republic of Nigeria has no entitlement to their organs as it stands today with the law. And
do you hear him? With the law. They have made it, legal.
A law.
It become a law.
It has been passed, so it has been passed.
It has been passed, but no Nigerian know.
It has been passed.
Mazi, there is a place also I will like us to hit more, because some people are misunderstanding things. So let us move on. It has been moved. You as a Nigerian, your organ is no more yours. You are just moving. Bill Gates has paid for your organ already. Bill Gates. Do I blame Bill Gates? People are insulting Bill Gates. Even me, I don't insult. He is doing it for the betterment of his people, Americans, with the help of American government. When you study history, you see that what America did, I never even come, America is a country of yesterday. I never come to Europe, their own is a perpetual evil. I'm talking of America of yesterday. Because America was a new world, called a new world. It was discovered just yesterday. So, but the evil, yes, but the evil they committed with their Nicaragua in 1909, is it Nicaragua? They made sure to impose their puppets in governments of other countries surrounding them in the Central Americas. Chile, Nicaragua, Noriega. They put all this, they made sure. What of Cuba? What of Cuba? The way they are saluting, congratulating Nigeria democracy today. When the president, before 1959, Batista of Cuba, highly corrupt, who corrupted everything in America? He's a politician. A democracy supported by America, imposed by America. In order to be milking the country at the expense of the people, until Fidel Castro rose up and said, no, we cannot continue like this. America, we are neighbors. While you are progressing, you are swallowing us, supporting very evil, wicked regime in our land. And you love it. Seeing us dying in poverty, and you love it. You are America, oh, you are huge. You are everything. No, Cuba said, Castro said, no, it cannot continue. And he mounted the pressure. He started talking to people, Cubans. He started using shortwave radio. He ran into the bush and used radio, convincing people that this is not the life you're supposed to live. Oh. The same way, the same lone voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shouting in the wilderness.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes. This is not Fidel Castro started it because he saw the future. That look, this politician, what they call democracy is not democracy. It's not democracy. You are the victim. You're supposed to rise up, otherwise we are finished. America is number one benefactor of our people, for our suffering. And the people peasants started tickling in, one after the other. They started tickling in into the bush to join Fidel Castro. Before you know it, he rose a formidable force and started having, that time they were calling him a terrorist. And that's a freedom fighter is always called a terrorist. He was, at the first they said, this man, where he come from, is inconsequential. People started listening to him through the radio, shortwave radio, that time. 1950s, started listening. They saw people that were frustrated, vile men that always help, people that you call these are jobless people, because they are suffering from the system. That is why they always hit the call, the first call, and it's normal. Everywhere is normal. Why will you hit to the call when you are benefiting from the system? Why? Which means you are fighting against yourself. It's impossible. It's those that are suffering.
Even the man mentioned Ngigenem.
Don't worry, I will play all.
When he was senator.
Let me.
Ngigenem was also there.
Let me put it. I don't want to preempt. Let me play it so that it will. Let me play it. Let's listen.
We know this for sure, that these are billionaires from the United States who funded this organ trafficking cartel to take the organs of Nigerians. Now, my colleague AGK had asked whether I was there when this cartel made the negotiation. The answer is yes, I was physically present in a deliberation. We were called as leaders of the private health sector to the headquarters of General Electric, the biggest company in the world, the leading medical company in the world. I was representing the Catholic Medical Practitioners of Nigeria and the Association of General and Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria as the committee chairman of the National Health Act. And presiding over this National Health Act public hearing was Senator Ike Ekweremadu, who was then the Deputy Senate President. And
let me comment there. Who did you say was presiding?
Well, Senator Ike Ekweremadu, he was the presiding senator for the bill public hearing. And the sponsor, the chief sponsor, was Ifeanyi Okowa, governor now, but then Senator Ifeanyi Okowa. And just sitting by his side was also Dr. Chris Ngige,
Igbo man.
So who was then a senator. So all of them were there, and I made this argument directly, pointing out Section 48, that Section 48 makes an exemption that is impossible. You don't exempt, there is no situation in medicine where you can overrule or say the consent is waived. Consent is never waived. It could be transferred to the next of kin, but it's never waived in any situation. That is part of the Helsinki Declaration. So it's an international treaty. So we cannot make an exemption here in Nigeria. Then I also pointed out the loophole in Section 51. You cannot have the medical practitioner or the medical director of a hospital be the one to authorize that an organ is taken from someone to be given to another person. So it is wrong. You can't give what you don't have. That's a legal principle. Then I pointed out in Section 53 that it is also, when you say reasonable cost for reimbursement of reasonable payments, what does that mean? Is 10 million naira reasonable payment for kidney? Some people will tell you that too. So you actually legalized the sale of organs in Section 53. Now, my colleague AGK had asked whether I was there when this cartel made the negotiation. The answer is yes, I was physically present in a deliberation. We were called as leaders of the private health sector to the headquarters of General Electric, the biggest company in the world, the leading medical company in the world. And we were told that Bill Gates offered them $2 billion to build 260 hospitals in Nigeria. So they want us to name our price so that we can be paid off, so we will leave the entire medical system. So that we will not be practicing medicine, we will not be practicing pharmacy, we will not be practicing laboratory science. In Nigeria, no Nigerian will be in the medical profession. And we should just name our price so we will be compensated for.
Why would anyone do a thing like that?
This was done, I was present. It's not somebody told me. I was physically present before the executives of a General Electric with a number of other Nigerians in the health sector, in pharmacy, in laboratory sciences, and there were executives of GE from their headquarters in New York. This is the first time it's happening in the history of humanity. Nothing like this has ever happened. And I warned Ike Ekweremadu before the Senate, and Nigerians there will bear me witness, and many of them still remember. I told Ike Ekweremadu before the entire public hearing that he will be the first victim of this law he is standing for. Before everybody. Senator Kowa can also bear me witness because he was there. And I told him, it now seems like a prophecy come true. And this was exactly what happened. That the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria sold the entire organs of the Nigerian people, even when they knew that this was the situation. And that is very, very, very bad on us as a whole nation.
Do you hear, Mazi, you know, like
I'm
what
hearing.
yes,
I'm
yes,
Even I have it here. I keep playing it all the time.
Because let me say this. Let me say this before you come in. You know,
Go ahead.
This man, Philip Njemanze, is a NASA researcher on brain of people, people that visit space. He's a NASA researcher. Anyway, so he said something that they approach, they have either they have advanced or paid fully, but what he know that they have bought the whole Nigerian federal hospitals. They bought. Now they want to buy the Catholic hospitals, but they refuse. They say no. I salute them. People are exaggerating, but Mazi, do you know what? These people, Catholic bishops, they are passive supporters of what is happening. Do you understand what I mean? Do you know when you don't report a crime, when you see a crime, you don't report it, which means you are an accomplice. The bishops, because they say no, you cannot, because they have money. How much are you going to give Catholic Church? They have money already. So they just say, do what you are doing, but we are not going to be involved. Do anything, kill everybody. No. So people are saying that they are not involved. They are passive supporters of what is happening. If they are not, they know. You know what they would have done. Immediately that thing happened, the following Sunday, they will spread it in the whole churches in Nigeria, preaching it that look, Nigeria, they begin to want to buy all your kidneys, so come out and resist. That is how people that are fighting crime, that is how they behave. But when they say no, if not for this man, would we have known? And this thing it happened years back. They have put it into the law. That is why any politician that is suffering headache, he will fly abroad, because he don't have no trust in the Nigerian hospital. You can have headache, you go to Nigerian hospital, teaching hospital, anything, they will remove you. They say, this one, his kidney will be good. They remove or your heart, they remove it. It's legal in Nigerian law. Everybody belongs to be great. That is a country you want us to continue be. And who sponsored this bill? Igbo men. And that is why they are killing our people anyhow, harvesting our organs, or Kozo, SARS, or Kozo. Policemen, checkpoint everywhere in our land, killing our people, harvesting our organs. We don't know that it is sanctioned by our politicians legally. With passively with the religious bishops, passively, because they knew, and they didn't talk about it. They didn't alert anybody, and somebody want to give them kudos that they are evil. All of them are evil, for goodness sake. Thanks to this man. And what will Nigerians do? So you see, anti-protest bill, Igbo man. They are using him in order to, because tomorrow they will use it to be persecuting Igbo people, killing Igbo people anyhow. They say it's your brother that put it. Mazi, please come in before we continue. Come in.
Now, Mazi, if you look very well, you can see that there's this actor that died a few days ago. Chinedu. You remember, he was not sick, just a day sickness. He went to hospital. He didn't come out alive. I think Lagos University Teaching Hospital, whatever. He died there. So, and maybe he's ignorant of what is going on in Nigeria, because such a man supposed to have known exactly what is going on in Nigeria and begin to fly abroad to go and treat himself there. But he went to Nigerian hospital and he died. He died miserably. Such a man. So, in fact, our politicians have revealed themselves. There is this song, Black Mumbazu used to sing in those days of apartheid struggle. They say, reveal yourself, Almighty. In fact, our politicians have revealed themselves. It's no more Almighty revealing themselves. Our politicians have made us to understand that they are the problem of Ndi Igbo. Possibly, they are also the problem of Nigeria, apart from the one Britain created. Because if you look again into history, you can see that it was Azikiwe that was used intensively and extensively to bring Ahmadu Bello into one Nigeria arrangement. It was Azikiwe. It was Azikiwe again, his own political myopism, that made him for Yoruba to join the so-called independent of Nigeria. Each time Anthony and Nohoro made a move, Ahmadu Bello will say no. Azikiwe will persuade. They use Azikiwe. That is always in Igbo. Always in Igbo. What is wrong with these men? What is wrong with them? They don't know anything about value of life, value of their people. Only thing they know is themselves, political interest, personal political interest, money. That's all they know. And look at us today. We are nothing. We have been trampled upon. Igbo politicians. What is wrong with them? Any of the story that comes up, you will see the hand of Igbo man there. People have forgotten about that on Zeribe by now. He died miserably. Do you know it was that on Zeribe that was also used to scuttle Abiola mandate? I don't know how much he was paid. In the middle of the night, Aton Zeribe went to what do you call him? One judge, is it magistrate or what? Somebody, a woman from Calabar, and obtained judgment that stops Humphrey Nwosu from announcing the remaining result. In the middle of the night, he went and knocked on the door of that woman. And the woman gave him that judgment that night to stop election result. The final, just one state or two states. Already the rest of state had been announced. Just to make sure that certificate of return is not given to Abiola. It was Aton Zeribe that was used. Every dirty work must be an Igbo man will go and do the work. Why is it always Igbo man? That is my question. Why is it always Igbo man? Igbo man was used to rendition the great man of our time. Ofunkulanya Juice Ugbo. The only man Igbo man has. If a Hausa man has somebody like Nnamdi Kanu, they will be dancing. Fulani has Usman Danfodio. Today they are great. The only man you have, God give you, you went and rendition him because of political interest. 2023. It has come and passed. Always Igbo man. What is wrong with our people? I don't know. I think Nigeria, we will later talk how we have to handle these people, because including their religious masters, because also each of them are also affiliated with the religion. This dirty religion they brought from Europe to us that make us blind, make us stupid. Mazi, I think you continue. Because
Mazi, yes, in what you said, because we have been saying this, Igbo politicians, it is our politicians. Yes, I agree. But I want to bring another dimension to this. And that is always my argument. Your politicians reflect the type of people you are. It reflects you, the people. These people, they didn't fall down from heaven. The politicians we have today, they didn't born them and all from womb they become politicians. No. Some of them, most of them, we are people like ordinary people before. Look at Hope Uzodinma. He was not a politician. He was just ordinary hustler. So you see that the problem is the people itself in the Igbo. I want us to look at this thing holistically. When we are talking about, some of us are calling for campaigning for killing, scattering of the Igbo politicians. I say yes, it's good, but when you scatter them, you replace them with who? with angels from the planet Mars, or with the same another set of Igbo people with which mentality? So I see that the problem is we are underdeveloped mentally. I'm telling you, as Igbo people, we are primitive when it comes to politics. We don't know. You said it all. Igbo man is a businessman by nature. So anything that he enters into contact with, both politics, so he uses it to do business. He thought he's buying and selling. I totally agree with that. Because when you talk about politicians also, look at our villages, look at ordinary people. Just look at ordinary people. I just give analogy with a tree. If you want to cut a tree, to cut it, forever, so that what do? You a ball from the roots. If you cut it up, because you are seeing the leaves, you just go cut them galabai. Tomorrow it will grow up again, because the thing that is sustaining it is invisible. It's the roots. So these our politicians is still from the same people. It's from you kill one governor, it's another Igbo politician, another Igbo man that will replace him, and will still be worse than that former one. Don't you see Charles Soludo? When Soludo was talking like like a reasonable person before. When he launched a book on Biafra many years back, which I used to play his voice. People clapped that he said this Biafra must be discussed. It must be discussed. That politicians at that time he looked at himself as a technocrat. He was not a politician, so he's talking to politicians. I want you to get the gist of what I'm saying. As ordinary person, a non-political Igbo elite or Igbo person, he was talking to politicians. No, you people are pretending that this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu IPOB Biafra issue doesn't exist. You are lying. We need to discuss it. Otherwise, time will come. All of you will be tapped. If you are not supporting IPOB, you will be tapped sabotage. People clap. Say we have to face the reality and discuss Biafra. Now he enter power. Is in discussing Biafra, Mazi. Is it not what when you hear at that time, if he's what they say, no, he will represent us good. Let us put him. Once you put him under Nigerian setting, he turn into a monster. That is, they are coming. They didn't fall down from heaven. That is what I'm saying. It comes from us, the people. So there is something fundamentally wrong in the way we reason when it comes to politics. Because politics is about our collectivity, collective interest. But Igbo people go there to look at it as a means of enriching themselves, means of getting power in order to deal with their personal enemies. That is it. So once they go there, it's finished. Just imagine, look at the villages, even political power. Let me call it villagers in a village, in a small villages. Somebody that is empowered a bit in the village. Look at how he behaves. Look at even ordinary people. Look at how the people behaves when it comes to power. Look at it. So you see that this thing is not about only the politicians. It's about the people. Because when you remove this set of politicians, you put another Igbo politician, another younger set, all are the same thing. They have the same mentality. That is why you see what we are doing on Radio Biafra, on social media, genuinely, in order to enlighten people. It is I look at it as the most important part of this restoration effort, resetting our brains. Because the way we reason, ordinary woman reason, is fundamentally flawed. All that matters to him is me. Now, how do I gain from it? How do I make money from it? If you put his mother, sell his mother and make money. That is what concerns. That is his. Look at Hope Uzodimma. Look at those Uzodimma slaughtering his people just to retain political power. Was Hope Uzodimma a politician maybe 10 years back or 20 years ago? The answer is no. He's an ordinary person. Maybe 30 years ago, he was also complaining against Igbo politicians. But when you go there, climb on, go there, you become worst. What is the problem? That is the question we ask. Mazi, I don't know whether you still have anything to say before we continue.
I still have something to say. You see, one thing is that when we talk about Igbo politicians in Nigeria setting, I think this time we are talking about Biafra restoration, where we can be able to have a nation of our own and be able to run our government the way we want it. I think we should forget about Igbo politicians and begin to concentrate more on what we are doing for the restoration of Biafra. Because if we combine the two, there will be a serious distortion and distraction. If we ever combine these two, talking about Biafra restoration, which the Igbo politicians do not believe, they are not interested, because in Nigeria, in a dirty Nigeria, where you have worms, in a dirty gutter, there you have worms that survive in those dirty gutters, and that is Nigeria. These are worms that survive in a dirty gutter, Igbo politicians. They can't survive in a very clean environment, clean country like Biafra. Because Britain knows that once Biafra is restored, it's going to be one of the best countries on earth. They know it. That's why they are fighting against it. They know. So, what I'm trying to say is that we should somehow stop talking about Igbo politicians and begin to concentrate more how to sensitize our people on how to achieve a country called Biafra that has been existing for more than 500,000 years. More than 500,000 years. Before even Europe was even formed, we have been existing, because that place called Igbo land, Biafra land, is the center of humanity. That is from where humanity started and split all over the world. And so I should suggest that we somehow stop talking about, though we talk about their evil, but we should not concentrate. For example, people were jubilating at Aba that somebody Oti becomes governor. What is my problem? What is my concern about a man who is a banker who is also a gambler to become a governor of Abia State?
Mazi, this is Mazi. What you raise, you are right. Look at our people have been always. We don't learn from mistakes of the past. Every new thing, we jubilate, and now it's good. And within one, what about Soludo? Jubilate, he's the man. Some call it a solution. But before long, this man, wow, all are the same thing. And tomorrow we do the same mistake. What are you jubilating for somebody to be a governor, a senator in the Nigeria setting? You know that he will never favor you. He will just use it. They always use our sentiment in order to go up. Mazi, continue what you're saying.
Because we are too much sentimental. We are just too much, not political. Because if we are political, let me put it this way, if we are really interested in going into politics, for example, what happened in Lagos supposed not to have happened. Let me be honest with you. What happened in Lagos shouldn't have happened. Sanwo-Olu is the governor of Lagos State that have served for first tenure and is to serve for second tenure. Now, we have a large population of Ndibo living in Lagos. We don't have to change that man, if we are to go into real politics, as politics is being played, because politics is about interest, permanent interest, not sentiment. Who will protect my interest here? For example, America is not ready to bring one white man in Nigeria to become president. No, but they put somebody there and stand behind him, even if it's a criminal. Don't you see what is happening? People are shouting, Tinubu is a this. I don't never condemn Tinubu for one single day. Because we are playing a very wrong politics. We don't even know about politics. For example, let me use that of Lagos State. We have a large population of our people, the nation builders, Lagos developers, businessmen are scattered all over. Now, even if Yoruba people are 1 million in Lagos, and we constituted 10 million, now Yoruba land, Lagos is owned by Yoruba man. And if it is owned by Yoruba man, anybody they say, this is the man that we want, we, the 10 million, will go and support that man. And tell that man, oh, look at our interests, protect our interests, oh. And that's all. The deal is done. That is politics. That is what politics is all about. It's not me following somebody, a charlatan, to go and sell my interests. At the end of the day, we become losers again, once again. We should have played this politics the way it's supposed to. We go to Lagos, Yoruba, which man do you want? They say, this is the man. Even if he's a criminal. After all, who is that a millionaire that is not a criminal? A rich man with his hand very clean. You can never be clean. You have left hand,
never.
You have right hand.
Never.
And you say, I want
Never.
to do anything in the right way. You cannot do anything in the right way without putting your left hand. That thing will never work. So let us stop with all this religious sentiment that are putting to us. We're supposed to have not lose this time. This time around, we will be in a very serious middle of nowhere, in a limbo for another 8 years. Because this man came to Enugu, in the capital of all Eastern Nigeria, and in the front of every other person, he said, look at me, as they see me, where they shake like this. So, if I fail to become President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, you will be receiving that sliced bread, sliced bread. Let me tell you this. It is either I become president.
Mazi, even you just
president.
imitated the voice exactly.
You will be receiving sliced bread, soaked sliced bread. And the man tell you the truth. People are shouting, shut up. What do you know about politics? Shut up your mouth. It's about interest. The man is a very clever politician I have ever seen. I love that man because he knows what politics is all about. We are playing religious politics, listening to criminal bishops, listening to criminal idiot pastors, those who are pastoring the sheep. Every time festival season, they will kill the sheep and eat it. We are listening to them. Peter Obi, shut up! Who is Peter Obi? He is a distractor. Now he has taken all of us into Golgotha. They have taken all of us into Golgotha for another 8 years. You think Nigerians are playing? You think the rest of the country are playing? You think Fulanis are joking? They are not joking. They are not joking. They have their man, Usman Danfodio. And Britain recognize the work of that man. Because the earth is made out of that. Conquest. That is what makes up this earth. If you don't conquer, people will conquer you and eat you raw.
No middle ground. Mazi, no middle ground. It's a world of exploitation. That's it. It's what our people fail to understand.
It's a world of exploitation. Look at Britain. Look at after the fall of Roman Empire, Britain went all over, even entered inside Rome, inside Italy here, begin to create kings. They create king of Caserta, create king of Napoli, create king of Sicily, put king all over. Even the Saudi Arabia you are hearing today, they made it.
They put Mazi, let me tell you, they put the Europeans, Britain, mostly they put kings on top of the whole other non-Arabs, which they kill all of, they made sure they conquer all non-Arabs, which are answering Arabs today. They put the Hashemites, a tribe, a tiny tribe they call the Hashemites, on top of each. In Qatar, the same people ruling them. In Saudi Arabia, the same Hashemites. In Kuwait, all are Hashemites. Britain sponsored them the same way they are sponsoring the Fulanis in order to be on top of everybody, to Fulanize everybody, because they see you as weak.
If you like,
weak.
If you like,
weak.
If you like, pray from today till tomorrow. If you like, pray from today to tomorrow. Britain knows the politics, and those that knows that the way they are playing the politics, that it is about conquest. The earth is about conquest. They conquer you. Already they have conquered you by bringing their own religion to melting your mind, make you foolish, make you stupid, make you weak, spiritually weak, physically weak, mentally weak, psychologically weak. Everything about you is very weak. Everything you think it on very religious mode. You don't think in another way again. You are so much inclined to religion. Every judgment you want to make, you make. Now can make who told you not any in politics? He may you were a loser. You become a bloody loser. So why don't we begin to play this politics? Can you imagine that Esere Dokubo move his militant to Abuja?
Of course.
And was warning anybody that will come there to make nonsense. That if anything happened to him, that is cleverness. That is what Nigeria requires. Igbo man continue to play sentiment. Shut up. The same Onyenka ya. Ka Azikiwe jiri wepuga eyoita. When he lost election in the Western House of Assembly, he began to remember home. Because they told him, brother, go home. East and West, home is the best. Go home. Coming home. Our gullible politician, some of them from this axis of when I say I point of these people, the politicians within this enclave are so selfish. So selfish. Nakarapia, Kopanye, Onyenkai, they remove Yoita, and the rest is history. The rest is history. So when will we continue to be running from pillar to post in this political Nigeria? We say we want Biafra, we want to separate ourselves. Igbo man said no. Oh yeah, let us go into Nigeria and play this politics according to you. Don't want to want it again. Each time you want to introduce one religious sentiment, Onye church, Onye Nka, the OT is a member of 7 Days Adventist. What is Adventist? 7 Days Adventist. Is it a secret society? And then you want to make him governor. He will finish Abia State. And moreover, why must LP produce governor in Abia State? LP of Pitobi, why must he come to Abia State and lay egg there? Why must he lay egg in Abia State? When he left Apuga, that was formed by Ojukwu, that he presided over his death, over his burial. He left that party. And then go and enter LP. And the same LP will now go to Abia State to go and produce one idiot governor. Don't you think something is wrong? And why must he produce? Why didn't he produce one at Enugu and Ebonyi State? Why must he be Abia, the hometown of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the state of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why must he go there to produce one governor? When have we dabbled into politics? We are talking about self-determination. Self-determination that is enshrined in United Nations Charter. We want to have our own country. It is not a crime. After all, this Italy you used to hear about, they are running a confederated state. Italy of this world, the home of Roman Empire, the home of Catholic Church. They are running a kind of confederated country. They have president of the regional president. They have regional president everywhere. Even they have their governor. They still have regional president. They don't have anything to do with the central government in Rome. Each of them is somehow independent. You just pay tax to the central government. That's all. Everything is working. Every region concentrate in developing his own area. You don't wait for government to come and give you road. They build their road. They maintain their road. There is local government. They're scattered everywhere. Road maintenance agents, they are working. Why do we want a Nigeria that is running a unitary state? And we call it Federal Republic. By the way, why do you have a republic where you still have king, you still have emir, you still have Oba, you still have sultan? What is the meaning of republic?
Confuse people.
Republic means Once you become a country becomes a republic, you don't have anything like king again, Oba, anything.
Just
Oba,
like France, like France.
You don't have it again because the meaning of republic is re. Re in the Italian word, republic. Republic. That word is coined from Italy. Re is king. That is everybody become king, decision maker. That is why you have election in every republic. That is the meaning of republic. You don't have anything. The people are now in power. They decide who will govern them. It is no more a king. Now you have Oba Obini. You have Igwe of Onitsha. You have Igwe of Obunike. You have Igwe of this. You even have some idiot Igwe. Yes, and Igbo in Lagos. You have Sultan. You have Emir. Why is all this thing? Why are we deceiving ourselves? Why is Nigeria deceiving themselves? You hear them say, Federal Republic of that. You think that it is something extraordinary. Federal. Are you running a federal state? Why there is no more educated men? Those that say they go to school. Why did you go to school to go and rubbish yourself? A professor of law is a vice president to a man who never go to school. And he was there, the country is being rubbished. He speak long grammar and make some big joke. Trader money, and he swallow some million, and with that they blackmail him and put him aside. Why is Nigeria deceiving themselves? Why do we want to be suffering? Why do we want to be suffering? Why don't we want to either we run a confederated state or we want the country to divide, even if it's a state? If Nigeria can emerge 36 states and become a country, each of them, then so be it. So that all this trouble will stop. Why are we deceiving ourselves in Nigeria? Is God punishing you people? Why you decide to deceive yourself? Somebody called Bill Gates will come to Nigeria and buy the whole entire organs of everybody, and everybody keeping quiet. Catholic Church is keeping quiet. Why didn't they reveal this truth all this while? It has been about 4 or 5 years or 6 years when this thing happened. Why are they keeping quiet? Why didn't they tell us this is what is happening? Why didn't they go to church the same way they go to church to tell the entire people that you have to vote for Buhari in 2015, before 2015 election? Why didn't they do the same thing? Why didn't Mbaka got this information and begin to announce to all the adorators fools that look, even that you're kidding, you're carrying there, it has been sold. Does it mean they don't know it? Why are they keeping their own hospital? Why are we deceiving ourselves? You call it a republic, and you're running a monarchy. Britain is not a republic. Britain is a monarchy. That is why they call them Royal Navy,
United Kingdom.
United Kingdom.
Kingdom. It's a kingdom.
It's not a republic. So Mazi, continue.
Mazi, before I open the lines, we need to talk more, hammer more on this Igbo sentiment. Onye nkai. This is ihe tinyere anyị na nsogbu anyị nọ today. Onye nkai aziki iwe achọ ya na Lagos. Ya agbadata na Enugu. People got na onye nkai na wepụ onye aka ọ ga na be ha onye nkai. They started problem, unfinishable problems we are suffering today. The same thing every time. This thing used to deceive our people into playing bad politics. With the sentiment, they don't calculate. They don't calculate 1 + 1 + 1 our interest. Look at, we are the kingmakers. We are here. We have established here. We are more numerous. If we can gather and even put this man, it doesn't matter that the other person is his mother is Igbo person. It doesn't matter. That thing is a sentiment. Let us gather and make this man know. He will help us and now put our interests as number one. But our people don't know this. If that person enter power tomorrow, everybody he will bullshit everybody and even turn against everybody. So this sentiment is killing us. Sentiment is killing us. Mazi, please, I don't know whether you have something to say more about this, because we need to change our mentality. That is the grassroots problem. Our mentality is damaged or underdeveloped or primitive. We need to upgrade. Mazi, please go on.
Mazi, the problem is this. The greatest problem we have is religion organization that have taken over Igbo land. Britain really studied us for so many years, and they know how to deal with us. And they quietly bring this religion in. Allow Catholic to bring the other one in there. There's one thing I discover in Onitsha. Do you know that average Onitsha man does not go to church? Average. They believe in their tradition. Onitsha, as I know them, is the custodians of Igbo culture. Custodians of Igbo culture. If you want to know the way Igbo man practices his culture and tradition, you go to Onitsha, you find out. All their shrines are there, untouched. And you think that those shrines are evil. You are a stupid man. That is what the ancestors left behind, and they are going on it. That is why they are all progressive. Onitsha people are very progressive and very peaceful set of people. As far as I know them, I have done something with them. I love them so much because they embrace this their tradition. Do you know there is a secret? What do I call it? There's something they call Ubenoba. Ubenoba. That's a cult. It's a cult, very powerful cult. Ubenoba is originated in Igbo land, which I'm also a member. It's a very ancient cult. Ubenoba, go and ask. Onitsha man doesn't go to church. They do each other. They do every traditional thing. They laugh at you when you go to do that your stupid thing. They laugh at you because they know you are nothing. You have nothing. You have no spiritual power. You have nothing. Virtually, you have nothing because you have abandoned your God. You have abandoned your ancestor, and then you are mingling with foreign ancestors. Your name is now called Christopher. What is the meaning of Christopher? Is it not the same Christopher that slaughtered all the black people in Argentina? That's St. Christopher you hear, that people now go to take a night of St. Christopher. The same St. Christopher, that same St. Christopher is an Italian man who went and slaughtered entire black people because originally there was nothing like slaves, black slave in Argentina. They have already been there from world go. When that ocean divided into two from Africa, the part of the people that entered the other side were black people. Go and check that Atlantic Ocean. You see how it divided. Every spark that was done there was done. If you put them together, if you put Argentina to Jamaica area, you put them together up to the Guinea-Bissau area, you see they will emerge. So when that place divided into two, the black people from this side entered the other side. And they were continuously living. Christopher Columbus went there and slaughtered all the black people there and came to Italy, specifically in Naples, and pick up thousands and thousands of people and go and settle them there. Today, Argentina doesn't have, they have maybe 1 or 2 or 3% of black people there. Even the current Pope is from Argentina, but it's originally Italian, possibly from Naples here. So this is what is happening in this world we are staying. This world is about conquest. And until we learn how to conquer, if you cannot conquer, you align with the person that used to conquer and be able to get your interest. We have played this this politics of sentiment for too long. We don't have to continue playing it. It's either we get Biafra or we move into Nigeria and play the dirty politics they are playing. There are two things. But time has gone so much that we don't need to go back to Nigeria. We have to insist on getting our country. Because if we fail to do that, the thing they have put in place will swallow all of us. Because they have discovered the kind of people, very docile, very primitive set of people that is going about. The only thing he knows in his brain is money, money, money. And on a little note, they will collect that money from you and make you poor. So Mazi, let me stop so far. For now, let's continue.
Mazi, I think it's better we go into a few minutes breaks so that I will open the lines. You understand? There is before I do that, even there is this news also that caught my attention. Nigeria partners Australian police to arrest serial fraudster in Abuja. When you read the body of the news, the man Ogene Vowere Emefeke, a 37-year-old resident of Gida area of Federal Capital. He was arrested pulling off an elaborate fraudulent scheme on an Australian national and recovered the sum of 60,000 Australian dollars. Mazi, in Abuja, they arrested a so-called Nigerian citizen with the help of Australian, because maybe he scammed an Australian. And Nigeria, they helped him, one a wambo. Mana, I fail to understand this. What about those scamming Nigeria? What about those? Do you remember when Tom Polo was given that new contract newly? Was it last year? And they just opened, in order to validate him because of people making noise, they opened just one or two terminals where they have international, what do you call them? These scammers, international, Britain, America, all of them that are taking oil from Nigeria. Illegally legal. They say is every blessed time. 2 times in a month, big ship will come and carry millions of barrels of crude oil from there. No paid, no payment. And one senator have been following this. He said they have visited even American government in order to give him that these scammers. I will call them scammers, but no person is arresting them. They can come to Nigeria and steal as they want. Nothing. No person, they will be helped. But when a Nigerian do something, $10,000 from an Australian, an American, it goes to the whole world. They will find it, and Nigeria government will help them. I don't understand what is happening. I'm telling you, Nigeria is not supposed to exist, though, because Nigeria existence is to our complete detriment. Look at, they have sold everybody's organ without nobody knowing. And look at Mazi, let me read another news so that you conclude with all this. You see Tony Blair, that evil man that is nothing, is non-entity in the United Kingdom. Tony Blair. He cannot come out to talk in the public. Tony Blair. But he's the person that is gallivanting, being sent to meet Nigeria incoming president. Mazi, you see that I thought, honestly, we are in a kind of the kind of worst type of. Sometimes I say, why did even they fight to get independence? Had it been Britain is still ruling Nigeria directly, is their foot on the ground, we are answering British colony, it would have been better. I'm telling you, Mazi, it doesn't matter what it would have been better. Now we are suffering the worst type of colonialism. The worst type, Mazi. Mazi, please conclude before we open the lines. Conclude with these 2 headlines, please. Go on, Mazi.
Mazi, number one is that Nigeria helping foreign national to arrest a Nigerian
their own citizen
of fraud or whatever. You know, it takes two to tango. The average Nigerian police has interest because they also do cover up. Sometimes when this fraud was going on, they know about it. But maybe after defrauding the person, the number of share he fails to get, did not give him complete. So he decided to align with the foreigner to get the fellow arrested. That is how this thing works. You see, it takes two to tango. Nigerians, police, and all these men you see there, is the more you look, the less you see. How much is their salary? If they are not involved in crimes and fraud with the fraudulent people, do you think they will make their money? Don't you remember Bakari? Was he not aligned with the hot puppy? What do you call that man? To make some money out of him. So all these fraudsters, that is why once they see any Yahoo boy, they pursue him because they know he has contact. They also want to eat. How much is their salary? So that is the area I want to put on that side. It is all taking two to tango. That's what I can say on that area. They are all partners in crime. Both the Australian, after all, Australia, you cannot find any good person in Australia. All of them are criminals. You remember their history. When you break the jail in Britain and take all the whole criminals inside jail and then promise them a newfound land, and you move 11 ships with the MacArthur Phillip and landing them there, and then arm them to kill the indigenous people, black people there, and then you give them government. What do you think they will produce? It is also criminals. These Australians are criminals because their forefathers were prisoners. They committed series of crime, and you don't know the type of crime they committed. And so Britain found it necessary for them to move the criminals in their British jail. It is there in the history. I'm not trying to castigate Britain. This is what they do. The captain of the ship was MacArthur Phillip. If they like, let them go and change any Google there. I also have a very powerful journal. I collected 1987 precisely when I traveled to Australia. Australia Trading News. Australia Trading News when I traveled to Australia. I still keep that journal. It deals on this particular issue. How they came to Australia, how everything happened. So even if they go to Google and change it, it doesn't concern me. I still have it. Now, let me move to the other side. You see, it takes two to tango. Nigerian police people, see them, they are hungry people. The power they have is that gun and intimidation that goes with it. And so once they can intimidate, they will just collect the money, or they make the matter open so that you be arrested. And then they call their news this thing. They will then begin to publish it, and it's all over the place. And they will just divert somehow, and then say, I think I told you. I tell you, if you don't give me my own share, you're gonna. And they jail innocent people, just like that. So that is number one. Number two, please remind me
the Tony Blair visit, and also it makes why is it you see even before Peter Obi came to declare his presidential candidacy in Labour Party, he went to number 10 Downing Street, and today Tony Blair, Britain. Doesn't this thing make Nigerians to at least think, say, how can we call ourselves a sovereign country whereby Britain is everything? Every president must be Britain. Tony Blair will come. They will give him. He will go number 10 Downing Street. They will give him the timetable, what he will do for them, and that is it. That is what I'm saying. Tony Blair's visit. Go on.
Let me talk about this issue now briefly. You see, Britain is not interested in anybody that can give Nigeria better. In fact, they are not interested. You can't give Nigeria better government. Giving Nigeria better government means trample upon their interests. Once there is 24 hours light in Nigeria, the country will develop industrially. When there is water running in the house of people, the country will also develop, because the people in the village will continue living in the village. They will not more come to the town. So Tony Blair himself is part of the evil arrangement. He has come to congratulate Tinubu because they put Tinubu there. Forget about P2B. P2B knows, like Governor Soludo told P2B when he was coming to Anambra to do all the of election campaigning of all that and that and that, seeking to see if Soludo will support him. Soludo told him openly, you know, we know. You know, we know. That is what he told him. You know, we know. You will not be president of Nigeria. Why do you come here to make these things? Of course, you don't call me a fool. After all, you were here as our Apuga chairman. You were here as our Apuga governor. You governed Anambra for 8 years. You left the place. I am now as our Apuga governor. Why do you come to disturb me here? And then he told him, you know, we know. So P2B knows he is playing a script given to him. Don't you see his Oga? His Oga, call him Olusogo Obasanjo. He come together. He was campaigning. But Obasanjo knows that the man to be in power is Tinubu. P2B also know. But he deceived the gullibles who are calling themselves obedient movement. This obedient movement, maybe if they make that mistake, because they are threatening that on 29, they will install P2B as a president. They will be a parallel president. If they do that, they will now have the opportunity, the state will now have the opportunity to arrest that man. But I know P2B will be so clever, he will not want to fall into that trap. They are planning to install P2B as a president of Nigeria on that same day. I heard this news. Somebody was talking. So may God help him not to fall into that trap. He will vomit blood from his mouth, and the obedient will be arrested, and all of them, some of them will run away. So he has acted his own part in that script that was written, and they know it is Tinubu that they want to crown. Anything you like say about Tinubu, Tinubu is going to become the president of Nigeria. But we are not talking about, I'm not talking about Tinubu. Tinubu wants to become president of Nigeria. But we are talking about a country that has been existing for over 500,000 years ago. We want that country to be so that we can govern ourselves, just like Luxembourg is governing themselves, Austria is governing themselves, even Kosovo, a very little Kosovo, people from Albania coming to claim a land of Serbians, and they succeeded, and they were given a country in Kosovo. People of Albanian origin, they come to the land of Serb, and they claim it, they fight tooth and nail, and it was given to them. Today, the capital is Pristina. Kosovo is a country as I'm speaking to you now. You have East Timor, they fought Indonesia, and they become a country. We want to separate ourselves from dirty Nigeria. Nigeria is a dirty gutter where everyone's dirty worms survives. We cannot survive in Nigeria because it's too dirty. Nigeria is too dirty. Don't you see how they are rubbishing everybody? Both the police, the army, everybody being rubbish. Nobody has said, you want to make a law to prevent me from protesting. In which country do we have such a thing? Don't you see what that man said? That the organs of people have been sold in advance. In which country do such a thing happen? Only in Nigeria. Don't you see how they tell us they want to change the money? And at the end of the day, what happened? They change the money, just the color, and they block every money belonging to people, make people suffer and die. Many people die because of that particular hopeless exercise they made. At the end of the day, nothing comes out of it. So Tony Blair, you know, his forefathers are criminals. Anybody from England, you know, he wants to know when you say criminals is just like doing something wrong. There is nothing wrong to be done in this world. Everything that you do to survive is what you need to do. When you see a lion killing a goat or killing another big animal, you may think the lion is doing something wrong, but the lion wants to eat. Tony Blair wants the economy of Britain to survive. So nothing is wrong with that. right thing. And we should be doing the right thing as well. We don't have to be a loser. That is why we have to stop all this religion they brought to us. We have to put a stop to religion in our land. Religion has to go so that we go back to whom we used to be, so that we will fight them spiritually. Don't you remember what Obasanjo said? The advice Obasanjo gave to the South African people when they were fighting the white apartheid regime. He told them, use your African juju to fight these people. Obasanjo, I'm quoting him, if he's listening. Obasanjo told the South African people, go back to your root, use African juju and fight these particular white idiots. Obasanjo knows the power of using that black power which we have. We they have used religion to remove from us and make us vulnerable for attack. Somebody say, I'm a Christian. They are killing Christian. Shut up, you. Why don't they kill you? Are you not a goat? You are a sheep. When you have a pastor, do you know the meaning of a pastor? Pastor is a man that takes a sheep to pasture. So you answer a sheep when you have a pastor. My pastor, Pastor Yedeko, Pastor Enoch Adezeko. Pastors, who are the sheep? They are pastors. Is it not you? Are you not ashamed to answer a sheep? Don't our father raise sheep in those days? Can they call themselves pastors? In those days. So what I'm saying is that this issue of religion has finished in the Igbo. As I'm speaking to you now, they want to build a very mighty Catholic church in Lagos. They are raising the fund now all over Igbo land. As I'm speaking to you now, go to church and they are raising the fund. They want to build a very big cathedral in Lagos where they will be keeping the sheep and then weighing the sheep and then making the sheep and then eating the sheep. So they use religion to blindfold you and make you weak. Is King Charles not the leader of Anglican Church today? What good has they brought to Nigeria, to Alibo? Nothing. And somebody will call himself a knight. Which knight? Why do you call yourself? Don't you remember what Kanu Idiam did? When he discovered that the Church of England was having their hand in the slaughter of Biafrans during the Civil War, he relinquished everything about knight. He was a knight of British Empire. He relinquished it and gives it back to the Queen and wrote a letter attaching to it. This is a man. He stands by his word. The day he relinquished this particular knight of a thing. And today many of our people are clamoring, I am a knight. Shut up, you. What do you mean by a knight? Why don't you go and chain also? Or Uronyense? It's an Igbo knight. What is a knight? What is that? Is Sir Louis Ojukwu not a knight? Don't you see how they slaughtered that man? Even though he was sick because of his son trying to get independent of Biafra, he won the son. No. At the end, all his weight lost away. So all this issue of religion, knight, British, somebody that hates you with passion, you go to belong to his secret arrangement. We don't even know the makeup of it. Mazi, we need to talk about religion because that is where it is holding us very bad.
We have to. Well, I think after
religion,
after 30th May, we continue. Upper Saturday.
Thank you, Mazi.
Ndewo Mazi. Upper Saturday, we are going to resume in earnest. After 30th May, the upper Saturday, we are going to resume in earnest because we can never stop on treatment. I call it treatment. When we review the histories that we are barred from knowing or from listening, we will continue it. That is it. So we must continue. I think we have to go into a few minutes break. What we are doing here is mental emancipation. As I said during my preamble, removing ourselves from the cage, mental colonization that we are being. Because it's through enlightenment you are going to get it. Through enlightenment, you start thinking outside, not where you are conditioned to be thinking. Every time you are thinking in the same way, superstition or this and that. No, you think vastly, because the sky should be our limit, both mentally and physically. Remember, development, advancement starts from the mind. That is it. Without having the mind of development, you cannot achieve it. That is it. Mazi, I saw on Facebook how Peter Rufai, I'm calling Peter Rufai, I don't know, Nasir El-Rufai, the governor of Kaduna, he was destroying churches.
Rufai.
Yes.
He's destroying religious
yes.
churches there.
And you don't see people rising up in order to defend the people now. They don't rise up. They're nothing. And this man is going to go in a few days. You know, he's a Boko Haram commander. You don't see Christians rise up with one voice. Do you remember when, is it this week, declare the River State as a Christian republic or Christian state? And I think he took over, whether he destroyed one uncompleted mosque. Do you remember the noise everywhere? Sultan of Sokoto spoke. I think he paid heavily for it. Do you see how they defend? But in this one, you see, I was listening to the person videoing. Why should Rufai now? Wow, this man is an animal. He's destroying church now. God go punish him now. Now wow. Now Oguna is like that. Do you see where they play? Yes, now they will go crying, start lamenting, praying to God. Hey, Jesus, hey, go and kill Rufai. He is very happy. He say, pray more so that Jesus come and kill me. Pray.
Because
this religion has made everybody stupid.
The origin of Christianity. One thing is that is clear. They know the origin of Christianity.